and gentlemen. Welcome to the American Masterminds Podcast. I am your host tonight, Topher Sheeler. I'm joined by my co-host, the one, the only, Mr. Rob Adams.
What up, what up?
We've got one heck of a show for you here tonight. This was so much fun to bring this story to you. It is a story of perseverance, finding your light, and more importantly, finding your worthiness and how we go ahead and spread that message. Rob, how do you want to introduce this guest?
Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. If I could have a spirit animal, it would be named Tanna Barker. She is such a good person, and I'm excited to share your message.
Awesome. I'm happy to be here.
We'll get a quick word from the sponsor and we'll jump right in.
Utah homeowners, you cook with it, you drink it, heck, you even bathe in it. Don't you think it should be clean? That's right, I'm talking about your home's water. Here's the ugly truth. Your standard water softener only has one layer of filtration. It does absolutely nothing for the PFAS, chemicals, or toxins that are lurking in your water. It may feel better, but it does absolutely nothing for your health or your home's health. Our Blue Logic whole home purification system has 10 different layers of filtration to it to give you safe, clean, and clear water at every tap in your house down to the water molecule itself. Stop guessing at what that weird taste is coming from the tap in your house. Yes, there's going to be a difference. Give Blue Logic a call. Drink better and live healthier.
My intention for today is to talk about as I said to you, is your discipline in your healing or having a positive mindset. Like, you are a light, and I know that you have had your journey down the road, and you probably haven't always been that way. And how did that happen? How did we get to this point? And so I want to tell the story of like your journey and empowerment into this space. And so if I could pick a point, if I could look back in your life, where would you say, like, what's the pivoting point where you had the shift, or maybe we could talk about what was going on in your life to that point?
Okay. I'm trying to think of how far back you want to go, or I want to go. I think because I feel like I've always been a positive person, but I haven't always felt worthy. So it's like, yes, I would accomplish things. Yes, I would do things. Yes, I could be successful. And I also felt like an imposter all the time. And so it's like, it wasn't until I probably got into real estate, honestly, which was about 8 years ago. And I would say about 2 years into it, 3 years into it, I was at one of Nudia's events. And it was just all about money. I realized that I had such a huge blockage with money. I felt like, up to that point, I'd been doing okay in real estate for a new realtor. But at this particular thing, it was doing a lot of inner work. And I have failed at a lot of things. And so here was another thing that I was looking like it was super successful. And it seems like I would always get to a certain place in my life. And then as soon as I was about to hit the pinnacle, it was like I would switch to something else. Mm. It was like I was afraid of success, afraid or not succeeding, and the failure part. So there was twofold. And so Nudia was talking, and she had us. Can
I stop you there? So sure. Just for clarification, you were fearful of becoming successful, mm-hmm. but then you were fearful of not becoming successful. So you weren't going to win.
Exactly.
And so every time you'd have an opportunity to be either one, you would self-sabotage. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yes.
Okay.
In relationships, in marriage, in
everything.
Yeah. In work, businesses. Yeah. It was like that. It was unfortunate. But what was fortunate is in this seminar that Nudia was having, she had us think about our story. She's like, what do you tell everybody about yourself? And she says, close your eyes. And she had us close our eyes, and she's like, just think. It's like, what do you tell yourself and tell your story to other people? And I started thinking about how I was the victim in my story, and I had never looked at it like that. Mm. I thought I was always like
the hero of the story.
And I realized how I presented it. I would do it with fun, like it was funny or, with laughter or whatever. But in the long run, it made the other person look bad. and look like I was the victim.
Mm.
And she said, if you don't like your story, she's like, probably the people that you're hanging around don't like it either.
Mm.
Ooh. I was like, oh gosh. I was like, okay. And so from that point on, I was like, I'm changing my story. My past is my past. It is the fuel that propels me. It's not what defines me.
Mm. I love that. It propels me. It does not define me. And so now that you have this, I guess an awareness around it, and that's great. I love that. But there's a difference between an awareness and a practice. And so that's what I want to talk about, because I feel that I think all of us know what you said is the remembering of the truth. I am worthy. I am of value. But then there is the years and years of programming, self-talk, belief systems, dogmas that are aligned with the belief that you're not currently good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want to talk about, because the executing of this is the sauce. It's not, because we all come to that point where we're just like, this doesn't add up. But then what?
Mm-hmm.
Because then that's the spiritual awakening, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about that. In that shift, then what was the first thing that you decided that you would do to make a difference in telling your story?
Well, I would say the reason behind why I felt the way I did, and I didn't really realize it, was I grew up in a very religious family and a very strict family. I had a good life. I had a good childhood. I had happy, loving parents. They provided for us. There's 9 kids in our family. I was the oldest middle child. So there's a whole lot in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
life isn't fair in that spot, is it?
Yep.
That's the mantra of the oldest middle.
Mm-hmm.
Not fair.
Not fair. And being the middle as well, I wanted attention. And so
to be heard. Significance.
Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of that. I didn't have a close relationship with my mom. She was, like I said, very kind. But we didn't have like a loving, hug on, love you relationship. So
was that just you, or was that everybody in the family? Was that your mom? I guess I should say.
Yeah, it's my mom.
Okay.
It's my mom. And my dad was very loving and kind and like he'd give you a hug and just, but with that, we had an underlying of you're never good enough. You're never doing everything right. You're not enough, And so it was like this constant, and there was always this undercurrent of disappointment from my mom. And so there was always this like, and you're
proving her right all the time.
All the time.
Every time you made a mistake, you'd be like,
yep.
You knew it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and we moved a lot. We moved a ton. And so we moved, I had the exact numbers before. I think it was 21 times by the time I was a senior in high school or something. I mean, it's crazy. And
all in Utah?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. I was from Ogden. It was Hunter. It's not Hunter anymore. But yeah, we lived all over. And so I feel like that was a huge part of, I would just hurry and go into we'd move and I'd be like, hi, I'm Tanna, because I wanted to hurry and make friends. And some of my other siblings, it was more like they kind of backed out, they were kind of not as forward as I was. But I was wanting attention. That was my thing. And so I'm trying to remember where I was going with this. I think what the whole point of that is that I made decisions in my life that would get attention. And so it didn't matter if it was bad or good attention. It was attention.
Okay. So in looking for significance, in looking for acceptance, you were making choices perhaps with not the right people or partners or friends or whatever you want to call it. Man, you're telling my story. I love this. I moved quite a bit. You're like we're very in alignment here. The thing that this has led to in my life is a people pleasing tendency that is kind of it's insatiable, because you can't. There's nothing that I can do that would make you feel a certain way about me that will make me feel better about myself. Am I in alignment here? Mm-hmm. And the problem with that is that you will continue to look for those people that will give you the significance you need, and that you'll never find it because it's impossible.
Yeah.
So this seminar was like the first time you had that moment of like, wait a second, this is a well that can't be filled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And another thing I started looking at, because I started to want to change my story, is I looked at past relationships. I looked at past businesses. That's when I started realizing, oh, okay, I'm self-sabotaging. This was my third marriage and we were having some issues. And I remember thinking, okay, who's the common denominator?
Oh man.
And aren't these the same issues that were there before?
Exactly.
Yeah. Topher, haven't we had this talk?
I swear to you, almost every time.
Yeah. Topher and I have used the word, and I know what the common denominator is.
And
right?
It's me.
Yeah. And you math it out. It's always Rob. That's interesting.
Yeah. And so I started really doing things that were like reading Codependency No More, going to Coda, doing things. Because at first, a part of our marriage, when I was going through this, I was like, fix him,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, he needs to be fixed, and everybody else was on my side, and so when
in your circle though.
yeah, exactly. They heard my side, my story. They didn't see us making up, all the things. So after I started going through, therapy and books and all the things, I was like, oh my word, as soon as I stopped focusing on him, things started getting so much better. As soon as I started focusing on doing the right thing, not trying to make someone else look bad, and I wasn't purposefully doing it, but I was doing it. So after I made that decision, my whole life changed, and I just started a different story. I started looking at people in a different light, because I gave myself grace. I gave myself a lot of permission to just be what I want to be. Because people, when we're in relationships or we're doing things, people, like if you're being silly or something, they're like, the way they roll their eyes, or you're being too much. You're, this or that. And I realized over the years that just cut away at who I really am. And so then I've been on a journey to be me.
Mm. So in my experience, there's a shift that happens. This isn't the way that you've described it is an extreme shift that happened in your life. I would like to ask, was there a period? So what happens when you start going to Coda and all these different counseling and reading books? You start to look for the answer, because you know that there's a problem, but you're looking for the answer externally. You're looking for the person that can then fill in the gap, the counselor, the group, the religion, like insert crutch here. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that religion is a crutch, but it can be. Mm-hmm. And a person can be, right? Mm-hmm. These things can, a job, your identity can be on that. And so at what point did you realize that the answer is not outside of me, it's inside of me?
I would say at that seminar, when I really was like, okay, I am changing my story. And as I would look at different experience, and I would go back to like my childhood, and like, because I was trying to find like, okay, well, what happened here that led to this? Or,
you were trying to diagnose it.
I was. And so then I think I started trying to pay attention how I think of people. Because like when I see people and I'm interacting, I see like light in them. I don't know if that's an empath thing or what, but I haven't always done that. And I started seeing light in people. And so I started trying to relate that to me and say, well, if I see light in them, I have light.
Okay.
And a big thing too that was hard for me is I stepped away from religion. It started in 2020, and I went into, it started more and more after that. And I had been told all my life, if you don't have the church or you don't have this, you don't have a light. And so I didn't tell anybody that I was leaving the church. I just started backing away, and I started to see I literally wanted to see if people would say, you have such a light, because they used to say that to me. And I got it more. It was so crazy.
Interesting. When you dare to be happy,
Yes.
what could happen?
Yes. When you don't hold your guilt, shame, judgment on yourself, it doesn't matter what other people are doing, what they're thinking. It's what you are feeling that about yourself. I was holding myself to those shame, guilt, and judgment. It didn't matter what other people were. So
you have a deeply anchored belief now. Like you didn't have that before. You have this deeply anchored belief like, I have light, I have value, I have these things. When you were shifting these gears, I can see this being detrimental to a lot of relationships. Did it affect a lot of friendships? And
I did it so stealthily that I feel like people recognized that I'm the same no matter what. And so when different things started happening, like I was having a coffee or London fog or whatever in front of people that knew me as in a different light, they were like, she's still the same. And so it hasn't affected relationships as far as my friends.
The ones that matter. Yeah. And I think the reason I want to bring that up is because I think that's a fear a lot of people have as we start to wake up spiritually, or as we start to become more healthy in any regard, physical health, spiritual health. You're going to shed some of those. Well, why aren't you drinking? Or why aren't you having another piece of cake or a second helpings? People notice it changes relationships. And so becoming healthy, sometimes I feel like we need to give ourselves permission to do so, because you're now creating a new character, right?
Isn't it wild with that like the universe takes care of it, and people are going to shed, like when you do that, you're actually, without trying or anything, you're working on yourself. You're going to piss people off because I think inherently they know, that's a change I should do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a reflection they're not comfortable with.
Instead of just celebrating it and going, good job, maybe I'll take a step like that. The first reaction is saying, down.
What? You're not having a beer? You're not going to drink with me? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say drinking. That's one that I see a lot where people are like pulling each other back in. I've seen people do it with cigarettes. I've seen it like food. Like food's a big one for me. Like, what do you mean you used to love this? You're not going to have another helping? Oh, I would really like to.
but please take it away from me.
Or religion.
Oh, yeah.
Or anything. It can be pulled into anything. And I have seen a lot of it with my mom. At the same time, I've set my boundaries. And so I'm comfortable with how our relationship is. And I've told her that. She's like, well, anyway, that's a whole different thing. But another thing that was really cool for me is when I started to see the light in me, regardless of a religion, it was inherently in me. I'm inherently divine. I saw more light in people. And so I kind of started thinking about it because for a little while I didn't even pray. I didn't know if I believed in God. It was like this huge thing.
Redefining.
Yeah. I was trying to figure it out. And I just had this thought of now I believe in God now. And no matter what, if you believe in a higher power or God or whatever, I feel that we are souls that were somewhere. And so I feel like we came to this earth, these big, huge, beautiful, bright souls. We came to this earth and we're stuffed into this human body.
This meat suit.
Yeah, this little human body. And so I feel like we were all together and all this brightness around us. And then we're here. And I feel like we kind of had like this separation, like an anxiety attack or something. And so we had all these little cracks in us. And until we start to realize that those cracks make us who we are, we're not broken. I don't like it when people say we're broken. Those cracks make us who we are. They make us individual. And that lets the light in us shine through. And so that's how I look at everybody. I just look like, oh my gosh, look how cool. And some of our cracks are similar, and that's kind of draws us together. And because lots of times people try to fill the cracks. I've tried to fill the cracks. I'm like with exercise too much or eating too much or drinking too much or exercise, whatever it is. And so we try to fill all the cracks all the time instead of just letting us be okay.
Here's my question about that. I love this, by the way. This is awesome. In accepting ourselves for who we are, when does it feel like we're not settling for less?
I feel like we can only answer that ourselves, for one. And I feel like the answer is when you decide. I hope that makes sense.
100%.
But it's like, you decide when it's enough. You decide when you're not settling. You decide. To me, I'm trying new things. I try to do something new every day, even if it's an extra push-up or if it's another affirmation or if it's a different meditation so I feel like, yes, we do get in, I don't want to say ruts. Habits. I'm a creature of habit.
Amen.
100%.
Yeah, we all are.
I'm a creature of habit. So I think we get into those things. And as long as we're focusing on ourselves and not somebody else, I feel like then you're okay. Once it's not okay for you or once I know.
The thing that is that's brilliant about this is it's so counter to how we were raised, where we put others first. We think of others' happiness first. We're trying hard to make our partner happy, our spouse happy, our friends happy. And the truth is that we don't ever take time to turn inward and fill our own cups. And the real secret, the most selfless thing you can do is to be a little selfish. If I can take care of Rob, I have time during the day that is Rob time, and it's my gym time. It's a sacred time when I'm at the gym. I got my music on. I'm visiting with the people I want to visit with. I'm in my happy place. I've had that when I've been on my motorcycle or these different things, but those aren't selfish times. When I go do that, I come back and I'm a better, happier Rob. I'm more whole. I remember who I am. And Annie, my wife, finds it wildly attractive when I'm in alignment with that truth. It's not me trying to please her that makes me attractive. It's me coming to the relationship full already, right? Mm-hmm. And it's so counterintuitive to how we were raised. My first 2 marriages fell apart because I was worried about them. I was trying to make them happy, and they were trying to make me happy. And it's impossible. You can't do it. Mm-hmm. And so it's no surprise that it ended in divorce, because you end up resenting one another for doing something you cannot do, right? And so I love this. This has been my journey as well. In your self-discovery, in your worthiness. Oh, you know what? I was reading a book the other day, and it talked about no doctor has ever held up a baby and been like, someone bring me a shot of worthiness. It made me laugh because I'm like, it's true. I've been worthy since the second I took my first breath, probably before that even, if I believe, and I do believe the way you do. Worthiness has never been part of the formula. The other thing that you said, and I know I'm dominating the conversation, but you got my brain just spinning over here, is that the distance that we have between our creator, between our higher power, is created by us. You said that. You said, our worthiness, our shame, and our guilt, it's never from that. It's our taking it to, insinuating it into the relationship that I have with my creator. And at the end of the day, I have 4 daughters, and my 4 daughters, they could make some tremendous mistakes. You have a little girl. Mm-hmm. You would put money on her books if she went to prison.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, without hesitation.
Even thinking about it.
Yeah, you would do whatever you could to support her along the way. And I say that because you and I are broken. And I say broken, like we don't fully understand what the infinite love of God is. And so when I say broken, I mean our ability to understand and implement that level of love. And if I believe that to be true, well, then I cannot disappoint or embarrass or shame my creator, right?
Right.
And if that's true, then I'm perfectly made, because my God doesn't make mistakes. My God is perfect. Thank you, God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's true, then even as messed up as I am the perfect Rob today. I'm the Robbiest Rob you're going to meet. There's not another Rob like this one.
Yeah.
I think we all concur on that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there is no doubt. But that's when you say that you see the light in people. When I look and I see this, I see a perfect person. Of course you have mistakes and flaws. We all do, but that's not who makes you. That's not who you are. That's what makes you great. And I love how you did that with the cracks and our cracks align. And that's wonderful. I think that you and I are in alignment that way. Different words, of course, but my shifting in this God makes it so that I believe that I'm actually supported by God rather than punished by God. Life isn't happening to me; it's happening for me. There's this. It's more than just my worthiness that shifts in this belief. Am I right? There's a whole lot of other things that will come along in this when you start to think, "Oh wow, like the universe, God is conspiring for my best interest." Just because this didn't work out the way that I wanted, my business failed or whatever, it's for my best good.
Yes.
And it changes everything. And I really love that. So in this space, I would imagine that you have found that relationship with God, or maybe your fulfillment level, your joy. It's different than happiness, right?
Yep.
Happiness is the deal that closes. Happiness is the new car. Joy is there on a bad day. Joy is what I bring.
Yes.
It's my spark.
Yep.
And so can you tell me about how that has influenced you and into your family?
I would say that I know they feel it. I know they see it. I know that they've been able to see changes in me. Like I said, I've always kind of been a positive person. I was very good at hiding the ick. Very good at it.
So you were an imposter.
I was an imposter.
Yeah, that's interesting when you put it that way, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was. And so I feel like that has really helped all of our relationships because my daughter, what started my journey of stepping away from organized religion is my daughter stepped away before I did. She and her husband and her kids. And that devastated me. Like, I was like...
You took it personal.
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, she's the last chance. She's my last chance. You know, she's my last one because all my other kids weren't active. And so I had, and which I know now I held her to a high standard. And so I had to learn a lot. But at first I didn't know how that was going to affect our relationship because we talked about church things a lot. And so on my journey to find myself and find what really matters to me, because it was so based on how we looked, you know, how we acted, how we performed, how we, you know, it was so checking all the boxes.
Based, yeah.
That I was like, okay, well, what really matters to me? And that was my family. And that was, of course, me, because I had lost myself in it all. So through all that, we have developed wonderful relationships. We can talk about everything. Before they, you know, going through high school and stuff, they're like, where was this mom when we were growing up? You know? So it's been an interesting thing. Even my youngest one, she's just like, I'm so grateful that we can have these conversations where I felt like I couldn't before. They always felt like they had to be fake.
Well, what were you being?
Fake.
Yeah. So they were just reflecting.
Yeah.
That's the thing about kids that's amazing. And probably the most disturbing thing is these little mirrors that they are. They're these tiny little mirrors. And what infuriates me about my Z, gosh, I love that kid. I love Zayak. I love all my daughters, but this little person right now is like my little mirror. And she's a little Robbie. Oh my God.
Don't for your money.
A little hard-headed. strong-willed. You know what I mean? She has an opinion. She's hilarious. She's like, it's infuriating. I love her so much though. But I see that with my kids and my older girls, as I've done my journey and stepped away from that dogma in particular and into spiritualism and into self-discovery. I think that I've created for them where they're earlier in their lives having conversations about what is it that I really want? What is it that's important? The healing that you and I are paying forward that may have taken me until my 50s to like come to my consciousness, I'm giving to my children in their 20s. And so I feel tremendously blessed that I can be the bearer of good news. And that's what the gospel really is, right? The discovery that we're going to be okay. We're loved. We're worthy. We're accepted. I love sharing that with my kids. And I don't call it the good news of the gospel. You know, you put a label on that kind of a thing and, you know, you're going to have a little bit of a reaction in some regard. But I do hear my daughter saying things like, well, it's none of my business what they think about me. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Yep.
You did it.
Yes. You're right.
That's so young.
You're right. You're going to be a superhero because you're going to know they don't care. They're just like, they're missing out. If these people don't want to be in my space, I'm okay with that. It doesn't matter to me. Where I was just like, please love me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Love
Please
me.
like me.
Huh?
Please like me.
Please.
Yes, please.
Oh, I remember that feeling. Just you saying that and talking about your young girls. I remember moving into a new neighborhood, and as much as I was like, okay, I want to go make friends, I knew there was going to be already the clique or already the girls that were already, and that was so hard because I had to try to still be myself and try to make friends, if that makes sense. So it was super hard to love myself with people not liking me.
I think that can be likened to a lot of things. I think that people who are trying to get clean off of drugs fall into the space of doing drugs because they want to be liked by the people they're around. And I think that, like, I moved here from Texas, and when I came here, I realized there was like a strong polarization of behavior that isn't ever said, but it's expected. And it's an interesting dynamic. And stepping out of that caring, you know, really in the past 15 years, I've attracted into my life in my awakening. I kind of started waking up around 40. So 38, really. And in that doing, I've now attracted into my life the most authentic people rather than, because, you know, if you're fake, then guess who all my friends are?
Yeah.
And they're only showing up because they have to. They don't really want to be there. They're doing it because there's some kind of an expectation. It's wonderful. That's a wonderful thing. Authentic people are my favorite kind of people.
That's a huge lesson on this same subject. We're not Jesus. It's not our job for everybody, right? And part of the game is you have to pick the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And if they're not the right people, and we've all made those mistakes, but if they're not the right people, they're not the right people, and that's okay. We love them anyway. But it's very important that you surround yourself with the people that are looking and talking and doing the things that you want to be doing.
Yeah.
And I believe that's self-fullness. Because sometimes we're talking about selfishness or being selfish. Some people will say, oh, if you're going to go to get a massage or you're doing self-care or whatever, they think that's selfish. And that's kind of how I was raised. Like, it's not about, anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that I call it self-full. You're being self-full because as you feel and you're filling your cup, then you can help other people.
Selffulness.
Yes.
I like that.
I feel like that's going to make a comeback.
Yeah. New word in the dictionary. Tanna Barker. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. Well, I love that. So coming to the realization of worthiness. The thing that's interesting about this is it's not a journey. A destination. It's a journey. You don't just all of a sudden, I got this. I'm high-fiving all the way to heaven. You have to continually remember, I'm not in alignment with that belief anymore. And it'll come up. You'll have that, you'll like be grinding on yourself and you'll think, why am I in this space? And then you're like, oh yeah, I don't believe that anymore. And you just can throw it away. It's interesting how it's like almost a weight lifted off your shoulders every time you're like, garbage. And sometimes you have to throw away the same belief several times, right? Because they're so ingrained.
Yep.
It's an amazing thing. It seems to me, here I am, I'm 55. I just had my birthday and I'm just coming to the realization that I don't know anything.
What a long, hard journey it's been for you, sir.
Yeah. Welcome. Everyone else has known that about me for quite some. Oh no!
Hey, good job.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to But what I was, I actually don't know where I was going with that. Not knowing. Oh yeah. Now I'm into a place of curiosity rather than a place of knowing all the things. Because I remember saying things like, "I know beyond a shadow of a doubt," or very sure. Mm-hmm. I kind of miss it a little bit because now I'm in a place of let me see how that. Let me try that on. Let me see how that feels. Not in a way that I'm going to jeopardize my morals, right? Or my who-ness. But at the same time, there's a lot of times where I'm like, gosh, I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about that anymore. I'm going to have to pray about that a little bit and try it out. And so it's interesting to be at this point in my life. That's where I was going, and still be in this crazy discovery. Like, wow, this is really very cool.
It's so fun.
It is really very fun.
So fun.
Yeah, because you're not putting it on like, well, that's what mom did, and so I'm going to do it that way, or that's what dad believed. You're just like, how do I feel about this? How does it make me feel inside? And is it something that I can continue to carry forward? A lot of times the answer is no, which is okay.
And it's like, hi, Tanna.
Yeah, there she is.
Yeah. Hi, Tanna. This is what you feel. This is what you like. This is how you want to be. You're not doing it because anybody expects it. You're not doing it because the church tells you to, or, I'm not downing a church. I'm just saying in my case, organized religion was detrimental for me. So learning to trust myself, because so many things growing up, I was told to put on the shelf or don't ask those questions, or don't investigate this, or don't do this. And so I wouldn't trust my gut. Mm-hmm. And so I made decisions going, okay, well, it looks good on paper. You know what I mean?
You try to logic it.
Yeah. So you're just
can't trust your gut.
Yeah. I couldn't trust my gut.
Truth is your gut is the only one that knows. Your heart, right?
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
And I get it now.
Is it interesting? Do you still, and I'm speaking from I'm asking because this is something I am continually surprised at the affirmation of the truthfulness of trusting my gut. Like how often I'm like, that worked out, rather than that I can tell you there's been a million of times as I try to logic myself into making a decision where at the end of it, when things go bad, I think to myself, I knew I do that already. Where now if I trust that more often than not, I'm just like, whoo.
That one was beat into me so hard. Like the second, because mine comes, and when the gut feeling hits, this is what we're doing.
There's a no.
And I've got it to a point now where I don't even, like, Sherilyn was the latest one on this. I was 2 minutes into the conversation on the phone with her, and I went, oh, crap. I literally went, oh, crap. Well, guess we're doing this.
We're helping.
But every time I've gone against it, mine, oh, man, do I get punished. And I've done it enough that, like, that is, if that's speaking at all to me, that's what we're doing.
I'm going to tell you a cheat, and I would not admit this except on a public podcast.
Sure, right.
That
the best place.
Yeah, it's completely. Don't tell anyone. I believe so much in intention that I have surrounded myself with these strong witchy women, and if they have an intention about something or a premonition, a feeling about something, I don't. Okay, okay. I think that we should do this. My business partner, Sabre, I think that we should do this thing. This is a new opportunity. We should try it out with this marketing program. And I've been through a lot of marketers in our business. They're lining up to have a check written to them. And she has this, and it's working out in such a wonderful way.
She a witch?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Way back. Oh yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
She would admit it. Maybe she would. I don't know.
I don't know if she would, but she's very intuitive.
She's very intuitive. And
I wouldn't have pegged that from Jump Street. Interesting.
Yeah. She she's very similar. Like when she gets that, she's got it. There's no doubt.
I could totally see that. If she has a decision about something,
made up her mind.
That's what it is.
Okay, giddy up. And so I love that. And I have that with Annie, and I have that with Jenny, and all of the areas of my life that are really doing well. I have with these intuitive women that I'm just like,
They're your sound beacons.
yeah, they're my North Stars.
Yeah.
They really are. And I guess maybe I'm humble enough now to just be like, okay, like if you have a strong feeling about that, you should probably listen. And you ladies have been working with intuition so much longer than us guys. Like we're rookies in the space of intuition.
50 years max.
Yeah. Well, and how can I trust? How do I feel? Like
Yeah,
it doesn't math. Like I need math. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love that. So,
Well, I think that was a hard thing for me though, too, is actually learning because that, how I said I kept on looking back at my life and decisions and saying, okay, what went wrong? And I'm like, okay, I knew I shouldn't have married him. Do you know what I mean? I knew it, but so I started going through those things and starting to be like, oh, okay, there you are. And now going, I am starting to just feel it. Just like when it happens, I'll be like, that doesn't feel right. Not doing it.
Do you feel as though when you do listen to that, and if you're in religion, we can call it the still small voice. If you can call it intuition, you can call it whatever you want. But have you noticed that when you do listen, then you get it more?
Yes.
And it's stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I, since I've started to tap into this vibration, I'm going to call it, I'm a hippie, I'll just say this frequency.
Yep.
I get intuitions all the time that's like, you need to have her on the show. You need to call her. You need to do this. You need to call him. You need to send the text, or you need to apologize for this. Like these, I don't need to apologize for something. Oh, you know what? I totally do. And humbling myself is the first part. The second part is having the courage to act. Where do you find your courage to act? Because sometimes you get these intuitions and it's scary. It takes courage.
I think it depends on what it is.
I'm listening.
There's some things that are just easy and you go, oh, I can do that. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Like a couple of years ago, I was reading all these self-help books, and I remember I pulled over to the side of the road and I was like, I don't want to listen to one more self-help book. I'm not doing it. And I was crying because I'm just like, I've listened to all these books and how can any one person absorb all this? Mm-hmm. And so all of a sudden this thought came to me and said, you're doing some of all of it. It's okay. You do your morning routine from Morning Miracle. You're doing your Atomic Habits you don't like to do your push-ups, but you like to make your bed. So I started doing my push-ups before I make my bed. I started femininity. I hadn't trusted my inner woman ever. And I started tapping into that. And so right then I was like, my tears stopped. I was just like
empowered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just depends. I think it depends on what it is. And there's still things in my life that I know that are probably things that I need to face that I don't yet, and that they're going to come up, they're going to come up. You can only run so long or so not face things. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just being so grateful. And I think that has been a big switch for me too, is recognizing the little things in my life every day that are good. Like even if I get a good parking spot, that changed me.
That's a win.
Just noticing. I woke up. Oh my gosh, I get another day. It's just the little bit of noticing those things. And that is your intuition to me, telling you it's okay. Things are good. And as you start focusing on those little wins throughout your day, everything else starts to be better. Everything else starts to look up. You start to feel happier. You start to feel positive. You start to meet people that are happier. They're positive. Everything just goes that way. And yeah, there's things that happen in the day that may not be the best. And I don't focus on those anymore. So those are intuition moments, I think.
I love that. We talk a lot about here at the American Masterminds, we talk about our RAS. You know what that is? Nudia is a big believer in the reticulator.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Activating system.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're talking about is conditioning a muscle to look for the good, to look for the wins. There's a book by Dan Sullivan called The Gap and the Gain. Mm-hmm. Have you read that?
I haven't. I've heard of it.
I'd like to recommend it. It's a very short read. Get it on Audible.
Okay.
Because the guy, Dan Sullivan, outsourced the idea to an author, and he wrote it. This young man writes the book, but then at the end of every chapter, he talks to Dan Sullivan. So what did you mean when you and they have a conversation about the principles in the chapter. And the chapter tells a story. It's good. It's a good way to build a principle on a story. But the ideas that Dan Sullivan talks about are what we're talking about right now. Is like, how do I stay into a space of I'm in the gain. I'm not in the gap. I'm not looking for the reasons I fell short, the reasons that I didn't have success, the reasons I self-sabotaged. And the thing that's interesting about it, he puts practices in there. I'm a big believer in practices. I love the theories. It's cool, but just tell me how to do it. Right? Give me the recipe.
Give me the cheat sheet.
Yeah, I'll bake the bread. Just tell me what the recipe is. And he gives you the recipe on how to stay in the gain. So I would recommend that book because it's what we're talking about here. So it's a super short read, worthy of your time.
I will read it.
Where I was going with that is in the programming or the gaining, you've built a muscle of gratitude. And we talk a lot about that here. We do our gratitude journal in the morning. Are you still doing that, by the way? I sat down with Alec the other day. Alec.
He's insane.
So about 2 years ago, I shared with these young men my gratitude journal, the RAS, some of these ideas that I'm working on. And this young man left. He went to Texas and he's done these other things, but he still does the spokes of life and he does the art. He's doing these things. And it was wonderful to hear like as he brings back his report, he's like, this has changed my life. This is what it's doing for it. And so it's almost like finding religion. When you step into the attitude of gratitude, the power that you have to create your heaven, because that's what it is.
I have a new theory on all of this.
Let me hear it.
100%. I believe that prayer and how we say practicing gratitudes are the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
I really believe that's what Jesus was talking about.
Yeah.
I think that's what prayer is supposed to be.
Yes.
So I've taken it to another, because, I need more frequency than what we do 5 minutes in the morning.
Sure.
It's got to be all the time.
Yeah.
All the time of what you're doing. But I really do think those two things are linked. I think practicing gratitudes is what Jesus was talking about with that. Because then if you do it on a frequency in all things, everything that you're doing, that's actually you saying thank you to the big guy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I believe that that's the doorstep into heaven, is gratitude. And when I say heaven, I have kind of an unorthodox belief, like we could live in heaven or we could live in hell today, right now. Yeah. We are actually standing on the creation of both, depending on how you see it.
And we've been there in both.
We've been there in both, and we could be there tomorrow.
Yep.
If I choose to be in that space. But in my life, I've realized that my life is way too short to spend focused on that negative energy, that person that's trying to bring me down, trying to ruin my business, that's none of my business. It's none of my business. I'm going to stay over here in my space. And so manifesting heaven. And because of that, and I've been doing it now for nearly 15 years, I've been in this practice. I just feel like my life is so, so, so good. The things that I've created are amazing. The people I've attracted into my life are amazing people, and the nonprofit and all of everything is good. So good. But it's because of a conscious, small effort to be in gratitude. That's where it starts. Yeah.
I've given you that card.
Ooh, let's do it.
That's what I started looking at. I started going over the things that I've done throughout my life. And if I was feeling off or not worthy, what of those things was I not doing?
Where am I out of alignment?
Yeah. Where am I out of alignment?
So this is your checkup.
This is my checkup. So on the other side, what I started doing is I wrote down, okay, what do I do? And intentional gratitude. That's my I. So it's I am worthy. It's IAMM worthy. And so the I is that intentional gratitude. So even when I wake up in the morning, most of the time before I even get out of bed, I say, thank you, God, for something. I say, God, you could say whatever. Thank you. Just thank you for whatever you're grateful for before I even get out of bed. That is a prayer, I believe, as well.
Absolutely.
And then my affirmations, I go into my bathroom. I have affirmations written on my mirror.
Give us an example of a few of your affirmations.
Like, I am light. I am love. I am worthy. Wonderful things are happening to me and for me today. And I go down the list. I read them and I look at myself. The very last thing I do is I look at myself in the mirror. I say, I love you. I love you. And I feel it. And I make sure that I feel it. So I do intentional gratitude, affirmations, and then meditation. It is a big thing for me. Sometimes it's guided. Sometimes it's pure quiet. Sometimes it's whatever that looks like, whatever meditation looks like for you. And then the last thing is movement.
I'm gonna pause. I want to back up on meditation. Mm-hmm. In your intention in meditation, are you do you do it until you feel a shift? Do you do it like do you do it for a certain period of time? What's your intention around meditation? Because sitting quietly makes me crazy.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole podcast episode dedicated to that very thing.
Yeah, there is. I did a 10-day silent retreat. We did a whole podcast around it, and I lost my shit.
I don't think I could do that.
10 days.
I don't think I could do
totally
that.
Quiet.
But do you understand?
Yes.
This guy did 10 days.
Yeah. I'm
How
talking
he
nonstop.
didn't get kicked out is really what we were all flabbergasted
Like,
by.
Yeah, I did my flat best to get kicked out. I almost got a fight with a monk, for gosh sakes. I'm not proud of it. It's all on the podcast. So in your meditation, I'm a big believer in meditation, but I'm curious to know, like, do you go till when? Like, what is it we're after here?
So I don't like pure quiet very often either. Honestly, that's really hard for me. So I usually do guided because then I can feel a shift. For some reason with me, I just haven't mastered that mind wandering.
The brain is too fantastical for this.
It just my mind just wants to keep thinking and going and doing all the things.
Solving problems, doing the math.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I can't quiet that.
10 days.
I don't know how.
I lost a lot of money on the bets on that one.
Thanks, pal. Yeah.
That's so funny. No, I wait. I usually will do a guided. The whole point of that is for me just to sit quietly. It doesn't necessarily mean quiet, for me to sit quietly with intention, with being at peace, to be calm, just to feel it.
You feel a shift, like you feel like, okay, I'm there.
Yep.
Real quick, I had a realization on that very thing. In the Bible, God says, be still. Okay. If we were to use today's technology, or not technology, but verbiage, would that not be him saying, hey, relax?
Yeah.
Just relax.
Have you
I got
meditated
this
today? Have you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
Because I've talked to, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to a lot of people about meditation, and there's so many different modalities and breath work and all these different things to get that in. But if you have an awareness enough to know, like, okay, the click, there it is. And you know when it happens. We all know when it happens. I do it with my gratitude journal. I'll write until I feel grateful. And so sometimes it is just 5 minutes because I'm in that space. But sometimes it's like 4 pages and I'm just still mad. My life is so good. Damn it.
I love
Gosh, I'm loved. I'm successful. But if I don't believe it and I don't feel it, it's not true. It doesn't matter how much money's in the bank or how healthy everybody is. It doesn't matter. But also, when you do feel it, it also doesn't matter how much money's in the bank and how healthy everybody is. Like you feel that. So it's that simple. So I just wanted to ask, okay, so now meditation, movement.
And it doesn't have to be a set thing, a set time, set anything. I feel like if you are like, sometimes I will dance for 5 minutes. Sometimes I'll do yoga. Sometimes I am a walker. I love to walk in this. I'm a fair weather walker. So
Fair weather walker. The name of my first band, the Fair Weather Walkers. Mm-hmm. It was a jazz thing.
It's a jazz.
Soft, soothing sounds by the Fair Weather Walkers. Oh, man. Okay, sorry. Focus.
That's funny.
Thanks. That's what I bring to the table.
Oh my gosh. What was I saying?
Movement.
Yeah, movement, walking, but usually that's spring, summer, and fall. And the winter, it's more. I've been doing this
I saw it. I saw the video
that
where you're doing the thing with the deal and the.
Yeah, it's 9 to 12 minutes. It's super easy. Mike R. Holland, if you want to look it up. I got that from him. But yeah, just something to get some movement and get that energy flowing. And so when I get going, I'm already like, yeah, let's go.
Wow. Did you feel that?
I did.
That was amazing.
Ready to rock.
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel that way about the gym. That's what the gym is to me. There's never been a time where I've woken up and thought, I can't say never. Very rarely is there a time where I wake up and I'm like, I'm going to the gym, especially when it's cold outside. And this time of year when it's dark, right? Yuck. But when I leave the gym, I'm never mad that I went. I'm always so grateful. It's that shift. I've done something with my body. I've rewarded my body. I feel that movement is reward. Mm-hmm. And how lucky am I that I can do it? After I broke my leg this year, like I am so grateful to be able just to walk into that dang building, right? And just do the exercises. And so I think movement is a huge part. They say there's nothing that can shift your spirit more quickly than moving your body.
I 100% agree.
And that can be as simple as it talks about in the Bible, where they ran out. They left the situation. I have a timer. I'm on my phone all day prospecting or doing the things that I do, building these relationships. And when that timer goes off, it's time for movement. I'm going to get up. I'm going to walk around. I have a jump rope. I jump rope in my office.
So good.
It's annoying. My neighbors are hearing a full-figured fella out there.
There is a lot of sounds to that, isn't there?
Yeah. Crying. But I do that and I go back in and I'm on fire again. And because it's easy, especially this time of day, we're around 3:00, you kind of have that after lunch crash. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And I'm in a business where you can't afford to have a low frequency. You have to have a high frequency because people will reciprocate that. If I call you in doubt and fear, low frequency, you're going to respond in doubt and fear. If I call you like, I've got great news. The appraisal didn't meet. Something terrible. Like, okay, well, what are we going to do about it? There's a total difference in our ability to be successful by moving our body. Mm-hmm. So I'm a big believer. Topher was a professional athlete for a period of time, and he's probably one of the healthiest people I know for the most part, until recently when he had this baby.
Well, yeah.
He put on his baby weight.
I did. Apparently that's a thing. Well,
it is a thing.
I blame Em a little bit because she went on the baking nesting phase and somebody had to eat it.
Oh yeah. You guys had some delicious.
Fair. Oh my God.
Just the picture smelled good.
Yeah. 100%. It was mean. Somebody had to take care of it.
And so down here at the bottom of the page, you have worthy.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to these things and then is this the result?
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's how it's been in my case. And that's the thing too, is you can fill out whatever the I is for you. You can fill out whatever the A is for you. You can fill out whatever those M's are for you. And you can make it your own. This is just works for me. And that's what I have broken it down to.
Love it.
And it's changed my whole perspective, my whole life. It changes the way I go throughout my whole day. It's just.
You've read Miracle Morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we have some of the things on here, the very things they prescribe in that book. And that book changed my life because I'm already a morning person. I love to be in bed by, 4:30, 5:00.
Right. Usually senior citizen hours, right, but whatever. That's just counting.
Right after Wheel of Fortune and some pudding.
Applesauce.
A little cinnamon on there if I'm feeling it. But I do love to be up in the morning, and I take that morning, and it is my superpower, my weapon for the day. It speaks about, again, man, I don't know why you got me quoting these scriptures, but like to gird up thy loins before you step into the battle. And that's what my morning is my spiritual girding or preparing for my battle.
Agree.
Yeah. I love that. So beautiful. I'm flipping the page over here. There's 5 questions to ask yourself to access your worthy self. Let's talk about these.
So we all have different hats, right? We all have different things that we're a dad, we're a husband, we're a business partner, a business owner, we're, whatever that, a brother, a grandparent, I'm a grandparent, all of those things. Like if you're not feeling it and you're just like, what is the deal with me? These are the 5 questions you can ask yourself, and it should be able to access yourself back to worthiness. So it's like, okay, so say I'm the mom
Okay.
I'm being mom right now.
Okay.
And I'm not feeling it with my son. So I'm like, who am I? Who are you? I'm mom. What do you feel? Right now, I'm just super disappointed, And then what do you really need? I need a hug. Mm. Who or what do you love? I love my son.
Mm.
What do you really want? I want a good, solid relationship.
Mm.
And that's the bottom line.
There's your North Star.
There's your North Star.
Love this. This is such a great map.
You know what's very interesting about this? This is the same principles that they use in the military, Navy SEALs and whatnot. So like you've seen movies, they're the jet fighters, target on sight. It is the fastest way for them to center. They have a proper name for it, and because I'm talking about it right now, I can't think of what it is. But that mechanism where they identify exactly, it's the fastest way to get your mind on track. What the task at hand is, and like
what do you need to do?
What you need to do. Yeah. It's the same principles of what they do. Yeah. It's like honing in on that target.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
This is a great, I call these things thought filters. I have a few of them that I use in my life to help me, to find resolution more quickly. Especially when I'm making a big business decision, I have a thought filter. Like, these are my questions I need to ask myself. If I have a relationship problem, like if you and I are having a conflict, I have a thought filter that I run through that. Like, I think about, these are the questions I have to ask myself. Is it true? Can I do anything about it? And so I love this as a thought filter to determining or reconnecting with yourself and what you really want and need. Beautiful. On the next slide over, it says, I am a worthy prayer. Now, I could read that with my beautiful FM evening voice, but I would really like you to read that for us.
Oh. I am worthy prayer. My soul is bigger and brighter than I can even imagine. I am what stars are made of. I am full of light so blinding that it is only dimmed by the body that encompasses it. I open my heart. I open my mind. I open my soul to let it guide me to my power, grace, and self-love. I am strong. I am brave. I am unstoppable. I am loved. I am worthy.
That is powerful. Amen. Amen. And amen. Let it be written and let it be done. That is beautiful. I love that you're invoking the I am, the most powerful two words that we can use in our affirmations. I am, as we invoke God as our witness, the great I am. I think that's powerful. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
It seems to me as though, as you've discovered your mission and you've become clear enough about it, that you can print it on a card.
Yes.
And you can share it. And so, Sharon, can you tell us like who you're sharing this with and what this is about? Because it almost seems like this is kind of a mission call.
It is a mission call. I feel like it is my duty for whoever I meet, for them to feel better than when I met them. And I feel like to see their light. And I hope that they feel their light by when I'm done. So my purpose is to help people find their worthiness and to realize that at some point, we are all imposters at some point. When we're starting something new, we are an imposter. Doing the action and making the decision to do it and then taking the action is what makes us not an imposter anymore. And so that is my whole mission, is to help individuals, people feel worthy. So I speak about worthiness. I talk about, when I talk at seminars or events, I talk about different things in my life that has helped me try to find my worthiness, my path of a few years ago, like 5 years ago in Nudia's class. And it's about helping people find their worthiness.
What a wonderful, that's a calling. What's the word I'm looking for here? It's more than just, it's what you were made to do. That's what you were put here for. The whole journey, the whole mission, the middle of 9, the all the things that we've talked about to get to this point, because this message is is a lost message. There's so many people out there that have no reason to be unhappy, but they're making the choice every day to be such. And this message is so simple. It really is the simple message, and that's what makes it true. I love that you're sharing that, and I love that you've come to the idea that that's what you were made to do. There's nothing more freeing in life than realizing what God made you for and then leaning into it. You cannot fail.
Mm.
Powerful stuff.
Thank you for sharing that. I believe that strongly. I think that in the past year or two, I've come to what God made me for, and it has changed my life. And if I could give anyone a gift, it would be that one thing, because we are here for a reason. There are no accidents. And that reason is more than making money. It's more than paying your mortgage or voting or taxes. There's a huge mission that you are here for. And when you realize that and embrace it, you are powerful. And so I love that you're doing that. Thank you for sharing that message. Oh, man. Hitting me in my heartstrings, girlfriend. Right in the heart. So here's the question then I want to ask you in this new space, now that we understand who you are and what your mission is. What, if you could see this progressing and changing and growing, where do you see this going in the next year? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Because you're standing on the doorstep of this self-actualization where you can really write your own story. Do you know what your story is?
I mean, it's been a journey especially over the last 3 years of me honing in on even coming to this realization that I would love to speak more. I would love to speak at events. I'd love to go to retreats. I'd love to just more than just meeting somebody. Yes, I want to meet people and I want to be, see their light and share that with them. And at the same time, I feel like we have more cracks in common than
we are different. Yeah.
Than we are different.
Mm-hmm.
I think so many people we don't talk about it. And it's really, we all just want to be loved.
Accepted, part of a tribe. Mm-hmm. I believe that. So if I'm listening to this podcast and I have an organization that I think this message would be impactful on, a youth organization or anything like that, you'd be willing to come speak with that group and share your story.
Yeah, I'd love to.
And you would bring these cards and you would be able to teach on these principles and share the idea of what we're talking about right now.
Yep, absolutely.
And you'd be willing to do that and share the message with whomever you think that could hear it, because it's that important.
Absolutely.
Okay. In the notes on the show, you're going to have an opportunity to be able to reach out and connect with Tanna. She is an amazing human, and I think that her mission is worthy of sharing with others. I think that this is something that we should all know, and we should be sharing it and talking about it all the time, because this is really the sauce, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
My next question then would be, if you could do that and you could be this, I hate to say influencer because it's just been taken in such a terrible way, but if you could be this influence in the world, how would that change your life personally? And just so you guys know that my friend here is in like the top 50% in the nation as far as deals done in real estate last year.
Really?
Oh yeah. Last year,
Wow.
71% of the real estate agents in the United States closed 0 deals.
Mm-hmm.
And this girl right here is a big deal.
Huh.
So she's wildly successful in her space. Is that fair to say? I'll brag about you because you won't. But would that change your work in real estate? Would this be the vocation that you would want to be doing otherwise?
I don't know if it'd be the vocation, but I definitely feel like I've even seen a change in how I deal with clients and how I interact with clients, because you just see people in a different way. And you realize that everybody has a story, everybody has a background, everybody has cracks. And so it has really just helped me. So I don't know if it's something that would take over, but I definitely can see it as a partner. I think it would be fun. I think I would love to go. I don't even say I think. It would be fun to go into corporations and having them know I'm a realtor, and also talking to, HR, through HR, saying, okay, we all struggle. Some of your most brilliant people may not feel comfortable to bring up an idea or propose something because they don't feel worthy of it. They feel like they're imposter. They feel like they can't do it. And I want to give them permission to be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, I see maybe a vision a little different, but I can see this message on a stage in front of women's organizations, in front of these youth organizations, letting these kids know that it is none of your business what other people think about you. You are worthy. You are blessed. You are highly favored. Like it's all working out for you. Like these messages of worthiness and the thought filter it's a big message. And I think that I would like to encourage you to dream bigger in this space because I could see you shining brightly in that area.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have spoken on some stages. It's been fun. I have been spoken, the Women's Council of Realtors. I spoke at that last year and that was super fun.
I love that crowd.
Yeah, they're great.
Those ladies are awesome.
Rowdy.
They're the right kind of rowdy. You know what I mean?
Rowdy.
Yeah, you can join organizations where you're like, yawn, not this one. No, there's going to be a point at some point in the meeting where you're going to honestly belly laugh. Like, I can't believe that just happened. Oh, man. Well, on that note, if you could put your arm around a younger, a less experienced you and offer her some advice, what words would you say to her?
I love you. I would say you're enough. Say you're worthy.
I love that so much. Well, that is my questions. Topher, do you have any other questions?
No, thank you so much for coming on to the show. It was a lot of fun, and your message truly is one of the core ones. And I really appreciate that.
I told you, huh?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. I warned him. This was going to be great.
No pressure. I'm glad you're telling me that now.
At the end, not at the beginning. By the way, you better show up with some good shit, sister. Well, if you've enjoyed this message, please share it with your friends. Please follow. Please comment. Please help us build this audience. The messages that we're sharing are messages that are valuable regardless of gender or position in life or success or whatever. This is something everyone should know. And I know that Tanna would be available to share this message with your organization if you were to ask nicely.
Nicely, for sure.
Very nice.
And thank you for tuning in.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.